This is January 20th, and we're doing Proverbs 20. And I have a guest with me, Lisa, today, and she's going to help me out.
Yes.
So she's going to start reading. She's going to read verse 1 through 7. We're going to discuss it, and then we're going to go some other verses.
Okay, it starts with, wine is a mocker, strong drink is a brawler, and whoever is led astray by it is not wise. The wrath of a king is like the roaring of a lion. Whoever provokes him to anger sins against his own life. It is honorable for a man to stop striving, since any fool can start a quarrel. The lazy man will not plow because of winter. He will beg during harvest and have nothing. Counsel in the heart of a man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. Most men will proclaim each his own goodness, but who can find a faithful man? The righteous man walks in his integrity. His children are blessed after him.
In verse 1, it talks about wine is a mocker, and mine says beer is a brawler. One of the things many churches say that you can't be in their congregation if you drink alcohol, but I would like to read what Paul said about it. It's in 1 Timothy 5:23. Paul says, stop drinking only water and use a little wine because of your stomach and frequent illnesses. So Paul says it's okay to drink a little wine, not to get drunk, but for your stomach's sake.
Yeah, and it's because, the alcohol does not make you clear. And so if you're not clear-minded, you're not like of God. So therefore, you're drinking and partaking in sin. So if you drink too much, it's okay to have a little, but know your limits. Know how much to drink. If you feel a little woozy, feeling not yourself, you're not clear-minded, therefore you need to stop.
That's correct. And being an ex-drunk, when I got saved, I was drunk. And when I went into the waters of baptism, God took that desire for alcohol just totally away from me.
And if you pray on it, it definitely will happen. He'll give you the desires of your heart. He knows if you're an if you have alcoholism as your nemesis, then he's not going to give you alcohol as your thing. But if you have strong will and strong mind, you can handle these things and be okay. We want to, in any actions that we do, we want to make sure that we're clear-minded and clear of heart. And so if alcohol, too much of anything is in excess, is not good for you. So therefore, too much alcohol, which is excess, is not going to be good for yourself. It's not good for your stomach. It's not good for your heart. It's not good for your mind. And you're not going to be able to walk and do the things as you should do.
And here it says, whoever is led astray by them is not wise.
You make not good decisions. It obviously makes you not make good decisions. Therefore, you get into the brawls, you get into the fights, you get into those things. You're not making those good decisions with yourself or those around you.
Yes. And you can't drive. In verse 3, it says, it is to one's honor to avoid strife, but every fool is quick to quarrel. Most of your quarreling, domestic relationships, when the police go to stop one, they find out alcohol is usually part of the problem. So we're back to that again.
And it's honorable. It's why sometimes if you're finding someone who has been drinking, who's ready to start an argument or fight, sometimes you need to be the bigger man and not say nothing at all or just walk away. That way you don't lead them or yourselves into a situation like jail or anything like that. So as it says, an honorable man stops striving. So you don't need to fight and argue. You don't need to ag those situations on. You don't need to continue on. Sometimes being the honorable situation or honorable man, the best thing to do is stop. Don't say anything at all.
Yeah. And keep your voice low. And in verse 5, the purposes of a person's heart are deep waters. Now, what this deep waters means, that it's what motivates a person is what's in their heart. You got any comment about that?
It's just the desires of your heart. Your heart doesn't lead you astray. Usually, your desires of your heart is what you want to do. If you want to be the best photographer, and your heart tells you that's what you're good at, seek God, and He'll tell you. And I guarantee you, your heart will tell you what it is because it's in your soul, and that's what it's going to do. And so, your heart usually tells you because we tend not to pay attention. Oh, love will lead you astray, but God says you need to love as well.
Right. In verse 6, many claim to have unfailing love, but a faithful person who can find. And what it's saying is a lot of people say they have love for you, but they're really not loyal. And so you need to make loyal friends.
People throw the word love around, as it's just something regular. And so love, some take it seriously and some just use it with loose lips. And so loyalty is the one that you'll find the best around, because those true loyal people that you put yourself around and build yourself around will truly love you inside and out and wouldn't see you any harm or any kind of foul things that happen to you.
Yes. And in verse 7, the righteous lead blameless lives, and blessed are their children after them. As a Christian, you bless your children. You lead them in the right direction, and getting wisdom and understanding is part of it. So take these Proverbs to heart.
Absolutely. We all want the best for our children. Most times when we have our children, we want them to have more than we have ourselves. And so if you've come from a family that has a lot, you definitely want your children to have as much as you have or even more. But know that if you lead if you lead your children with Christ first and foremost, and then teach those things and upbring them in those ways, they're going to be blessed. Their children are going to be blessed. Their children are going to be blessed. Your children, generations of just blessed will happen in that family.
Amen. Now we're going to go read, Lisa's going to read verse 24 through 30.
24 says, a man's steps are of the Lord. How then can a man understand his own way? It is a snare for a man to devote rashly something as holy, and afterward to reconsider his vows. A wise king sifts out the wicked and brings the threshing wheel over them. The spirit of a man is the lamp of the Lord, searching all the inner depths of his heart. Mercy and truth preserve the king, and by loving kindness he upholds his throne. The glory of a young men is their strength, and their splendor is of old men is their gray head. Blows that hurt cleanse away evil, as do stripes the inner depths of the heart.
A person's steps are directed by the Lord. You need to develop a relationship with the Lord. You need to learn how to hear his wee small voice. It'll direct those steps and keep you out of trouble.
And his guidance is the best that you can ask for. His guidance protects you, it covers you, it blesses you. And who doesn't want gifts and blessings all the time? And so if you seek God first and ask for his guidance and steps, no evil can come about you, because there's no greater power than God.
And in verse 23 there it says, it is a trap to dedicate something rashly and only later to consider one's vows. When you vow to follow Jesus, don't stray away. Keep on that straight and narrow path. Verse 28. The way this edition, I have the NIV. It says, love and faithfulness keep a king safe. Well, love and faithfulness keeps you safe. Through love, his throne is made secure. And through love, your house is made secure. No comment?
No. That okay. Pretty much sums that up.
Yeah, it does, pretty much. The glory of a young man is their strength, and I can identify that. I don't have the strength I used to have when I was young.
No. Today is my birthday, and I got a lesson today just how young I once was and the things that you try to do today. But you have to be thankful for the things that you can still do and the things that you do when you're young as opposed to when you're older. Just be thankful because everything happens in its own time and its own reason.
Amen. Gray hair, the splendor of the old. Aha, I got that.
Well, you want to seek an old man or a person with gray hair because they have a lot of guidance, they have a lot of wisdom, they have a lot of things that they can tell you that they've been through. There's nothing that we've gone through that they themselves have not gone through that they can give you guidance or counsel for. Those grays are there for a reason, and so a young person has strength, and sometimes those grays that we take advantage for or we misinterpret as just an old man or an old person's problems really could be guidance in something that you may need yourself. And so let's not be led astray and think those grays are for naught. They really can teach you a lot.
Amen. And the very last verse here, verse 30, blows and wounds scrub away evil, and beatings purge the innermost being. We go through trials, and that's how we grow. And sometimes we have to take a few blows in order to get our heads right with God, on the right path.
Yeah. But know that whatever trials and tribulations that you go through, God knows that you've already gone through them. And if you pray for victory, you'll have victory in the end. And God doesn't give you more than you can handle because he knows your inner strength and he knows what you're going to go through and what you're put into. Our victory is already set in there. Our victory is already there. We've already won. And so what path are you leading to? You've got to go through those trials. No one likes to go through those. No one wants to have ups or has downs. Who wants them? No, but we have to because we're going to learn from them. And those things that we go through, we are there to tell someone else to prevent them or guide them in those same situations. You can't tell someone if you've never been through nothing.
Yeah. It says we overcome by the word of our testimony.
Absolutely. So
praise
know that
God.
You go through those testimonies and those trials for a reason.
Amen. Well, that's our lesson for today. And we love you.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
Amen.